Hello, everybody. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, back with another video. And just so you know, now I'm up to 11 subscribers. Who would have thought? I mean, I'm not kidding. Who would have thought? Anyway, 11 subscribers. Geez. But so to those 11 subscribers and to anybody else who watches my videos, I think you know by now, if you've seen enough of my videos, you know that it's like when we come here to talk, we're not going to be talking about the new Pixar movie. We're not going to be talking about the new DreamWorks or any of that kind of stuff. We're not going to be talking about Marvel, with the exception of maybe like Deadpool or something like that. But yeah, this here, you come here because my movie library is pretty much um, kind of. Let's face it, my movie library is pretty much kind of like the stuff if your mom and dad tell you you watch it, you're going to go to hell for. And today's movie is definitely going to make people feel that way. And this is a movie that it was so controversial now, and I think this is a movie that so many people really wanted to kind of sweep under the rug and just kind of forget that it ever existed. And the movie is Crash, written and directed by David Cronenberg. See, it says right there, sex and car crashes. That you got to give it credit. I mean, it tells you what you're getting with this movie. So yeah, this movie came out in 1996. It was extremely controversial, got NC-17 rating. They did their absolute best to ban this movie, and the whole reason why is because, like it says there, sex and car crashes. The entire point of this movie really is that it's about people who get sexually aroused by car crashes, and they go out kind of looking for a new high or whatever for sexual arousal and stuff. And when this movie came out at first, they were doing everything they could to try to ban it because, they were scared that people were going to watch this movie and they were going to go out and imitate it and everything else. Now, the DVD that I got here, this is not the original New Line DVD. That's pretty much out of print. This is the Alliance DVD, where if you can see, it's got both of the, just says Crash there, but if you look on the back here, it has at the top, it's got the American synopsis, and then below that it has the French synopsis, I believe. And because Alliance is a French Canadian company or a distribution company and stuff, so anyway, so yeah, this is the kind of movie that I've had this DVD for years, and I even had the one thing I thought was funny though. Quick little story. I promise I'll be fast. One thing that I thought was funny was yeah, I was dating a girl one time, and she, when we first dated, she thought I was a pervert for having this. And I tried to explain to her, it's like the reason why I have this is, I'm a horror movie fan. I love horror films, and, I love David Cronenberg films. And, David Cronenberg, we all know, if you watch this, you know who David Cronenberg is, The Dead Zone, The Fly, Dead Ringers, Videodrome, Scanners, Shivers, Rabid, so on, so on. I mean, you know who David Cronenberg is. So I mean, obviously, if you're a David Cronenberg fan, you're going to try to get his movies and everything else. And this was before he kind of went into the all, just pretty much, I just do kind of dramatic movies and stuff like that. Now he's more like into, just, kind of like dramas and kind of like Academy Award type movies and stuff like that. But in the day, he was like the boldest filmmaker in the world, and this was one of the movies that proved that he was, because between this and Naked Lunch, he was making, he was adapting books that nobody ever thought could ever be adapted into a movie, and so he did it with this movie. The book is written by JG Ballard, and this was a book that everybody just consider unfilmable. And the same thing with Naked Lunch. And he was able to adapt those two books into films that appease, not just, fans of his movies and stuff, but fans of the books as well. There are people who are fans of the book Naked Lunch. That even though he kind of did a different approach when he adapted the book by not adapting it entirely, but he did a little something different with it. But even still, the fans of the book love what Cronenberg did because they sense the love and respect that he tried to show the book, and I believe he did the same thing with this. And even at one point, he was attached to American Psycho because a lot of people thought there was nobody else who was going to be until the wonderful Mary Herron came along and directed the movie. Nobody was going to be able to make this movie until unless David Cronenberg did, because he's the only one who could find that way in of adapting the book into a movie and making it awesome, or at least watchable, and stuff like that. So this here was another case of that, and like I said, the movie is about people who become sexually addicted to car crashes and stuff like that. And if you've ever been in an auto accident in your life, I'm going to be honest. I've been in 2 minor accidents, and I got to be honest with you. The last thing I felt was horny. Okay, I got to be honest with you. There, it's like the one thing I did not want to do was have sex afterwards. So if anything else, I wanted to throw up. But that's beside the point. Anyway, though, the story, you have basically it stars James Spader. There you see there, he's right there. Yeah, right there. And James Spader, who now everybody knows from the TV show Blacklist, or him as the voice of Ultron and Avengers: Age of Ultron and stuff. You got James Spader, you got Holly Hunter, you got Elias Koteas, you got Roseanne Arquette, and David Cara Unger, or David, Jesus, Deborah Cara Unger, who I want to talk about her in just a minute, but James Spader, I mean, no stranger to, kind of unique, different types of movies. So this wasn't really a stretch for him. But a lot of the other actors, kind of really stuck themselves out on a limb for this movie. Holly Hunter, the thing was that if I remember reading correctly, the reason why Holly Hunter wanted to do this movie and really, kind of like pushed to do this movie was because Holly Hunter, she'd gotten a lot of roles back in the day. She'd been in comedies like Raising Arizona for the Coen brothers and other films. And she was known as a good dramatic actress, but here was the problem. She was never, by Hollywood standards, she was never seen as a beautiful or sexy woman. And so she was never getting roles as a sexy actress or a sexy type. She never got the chance to play sexy characters, basically, or beautiful or alluring characters and stuff like that. She was never really given the chance to do that. And so, the fact that Cronenberg was willing to say, yeah, I think you're beautiful. I'd like to, if she was willing to do the part, and she did. And she's, honestly, if you want to see Holly Hunter nude, this is a good movie to do it. Mostly it's just her topless, but, still, if you want to see Holly Hunter topless, this is the movie to do it with. And, no disrespect to women or Holly Hunter or anything, but she does look great. She really does look gorgeous, in this movie and stuff. So supposedly that's why she did it. I don't really think I have to speak for why the guys would want to do this kind of movie. Oh, come on, beautiful women, all this. Why not? Roseanne Arquette, she did this movie. She has a small role in here where she plays one of the car crash sex enthusiasts, and there's a couple of topless shots of her in this movie as well. But really, when it comes to, if you're wanting to know about the nudity aspect of this movie, the standout here is going to be Deborah Cara Unger, the lovely blonde lady right there. She is the one who really goes into this movie and pretty much, I got to hand it to her. Every once in a while, I still see her appear in a movie, or she's done some television or something like that. But, honestly, it's all like she really put herself out there in a way for this movie that, honestly, it's like she did the stuff that was very uncomfortable, stuff that kind of really could have really make her look bad. But, she was a sport. She stepped up, she did it. And, she's probably the one actress in this movie I say you see her completely full frontal naked. You see pretty much every square inch of her body. And she's doing the stuff in this movie that is kind of like, if anybody wanted to say there was stuff in this movie that was degrading or demoralizing or anything like that, it was Deborah Carr Unger who stepped up to the plate and really did that stuff. A lot of this stuff, like Holly Hunter did some uncomfortable stuff, so did Roseanne Arquette, but really, she was Deborah Carr Unger was kind of really the champion of this movie, in my opinion. She's the one who exposes herself the most. She's the one who puts herself in the most vulnerable situations. And so, yeah, I applaud her performance in this movie. I really do. I mean, not just the fact that she's, very lovely to look at, but, just the fact that, because I mean, it takes a very brave type of actress. I mean, when you see like a lot of Hollywood actors and actresses, I mean, they always have like this big, telephone book size list of stuff they won't do in a movie. And the fact she stepped up and just knocked it out of the park and did it. I mean, you got to applaud that, the fact that she did. And plus the subject matter being as uncomfortable as it is. So anyway, yeah, but the one thing I thought was funny though was like, I remember, I think I started to tell this story, but I trailed off. I was dating a girl one time, and at first she thought I was a pervert for having this movie and everything else. And she's all like, the movie is just like, it's just, one sex scene after another, and it's car crashes and sex. It's like, yeah, that's why it says right there, sex and car crashes. They tell you this, the whole movie was meant to be controversial when it came out and stuff like that. So I explained it to her and everything else. And then the funny part was when we broke up, she was trying to get her hands on some of my movies. The one thing I thought was funny was when we first started dating and stuff, she thought I was an idiot for having all these movies. But by the time we broke up, and she's trying to take half of them, she was like trying to take my, some of my horror movies. She was trying to take like my Friday the 13th, this one. I don't know why, she was like really into Showgirls. I had the DVD of Showgirls. As a matter of fact, I got it on Blu-ray now because my DVD, she mishandled the disc, and she watched it so many times she completely wore it out and stuff like that, and just ruined it. And so yeah, now I have it on Blu-ray, and that was the reason why I had to do that, was because I had an ex-girlfriend who, she constantly watched it, and she was obsessed with Showgirls for some reason. I don't know if she had a dream of being a showgirl herself or what, but I don't know. She watched it all the time, and then she ruined my disc. I don't have it anymore, so now I had to, I was lucky. I bought it. I found it in a pawn shop, pretty much brand new for $3 on Blu-ray. So I was like, no, I'll get it just to, get it back in my collection again. It is a cult film. It's not a particularly good film, but it is a cult film. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Let's talk about this movie. But yes, this movie is very controversial. I want to see, I really do. New Line or Warner Brothers or somebody, put this on 4K. I want to see that. I dare you. I double dare you. Put Crash, not the R-rated cut. Okay, no. Don't cheap out like you got, New Line. If you put this out on Blu-ray or 4K, do not cheap out like you did in the past with shit like Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, or not, I'm sorry, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, or Jason Goes to Hell, where you show the cut R-rated version. No, I want to see where it says there, controversial uncut edition. I want to see that on a Blu-ray or a 4K. Put that out. I want to see that. I dare you. Like I said, I double, triple dog dare you to do that. So, yeah, I want to see that with all the nudity, the sex, and everything else intact, the close-ups and beaver shots, whatever. I want to see all that stuff. I dare you to do it. Seriously, I want to see that. That's going to be something interesting. Right now, as far as I know, this is pretty much no longer available. You can get it. You can get the DVD through it, but it's a burned on demand Warner Archives thing. But yeah, but this, kind of like I was lucky to get the legitimate copy of it. So, but yeah, like I said, I really want to see. I want to see somebody like come up and really like try to do like a, I really want to see somebody come up try to put this on 4K. I dare you. I seriously dare you to do it. I mean, you guys are too, it's like the 4K people are too big. No, we got to try to hurry up and get The Hobbit out. I was like, no, put Crash on 4K. That I'll buy. I'll buy it. If I admit it, I'll put down the money. I gladly will. You do this, I will put my money where my mouth is, and I will buy it. And the minute I get a 4K TV and everything else, I'll watch it and everything else just to show off. But anyway. So anyway, yeah, like I said, there's just not really much of in terms of story here. It's just you got James Spader, he plays James Ballard, and Deborah Carr Unger plays his wife, and they're in this open marriage, and it's just they're kind of trying to find this real like sexual kink. I mean, something to really get them off and stuff, and they're just not finding it. And at one point, James Spader's character, he gets into a car crash while Holly Hunter's character and then when they're both recuperating in the hospital, there's there's the character of Vaughn, played by Elias Koteas, who starts, getting both of them into the world of being sexually attracted to car crashes and stuff. And so they start, kind of getting further and further into this kink and everything else. Well, first James Spader gets into it with Holly Hunter, and then he starts bringing his wife into it with, and it just goes crazy from there. And yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's the best part of this movie, though, is it does tell you what it is: sex and car crashes. So, I mean, the movie opens with three simultaneous, well, not simultaneous, but three sex scenes, one after the other after the other. So, I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into. So, you could call this borderline pornography. It depends, but yeah, this is definitely one of the most controversial movies ever made. And like I said, I think this is a movie everybody's going to want to just kind of keep it swept under the rug. But if you're a David Cronenberg fan, or if you're a fan of, this is extreme cinema, but not in terms of gore or anything like that. It's a different kind of extreme. But I say, if you're feeling brave and, you really want to test your limits and try something different aside from gore. I mean, yeah, I've done it myself. I've looked at shockumentaries and stuff like that, just see how much I could take. But this is a different kind of thing. So if you're interested in testing your metal, give it a shot. But it is a Cronenberg movie. It's beautifully photographed, as all his movies are. You got the awesome Howard Shore music score and everything else. But yeah, I mean, this is I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you folks. This is sex and nudity galore. So yeah, if you come across this, give it a shot. But just make sure you get the uncut version, because there is an R-rated version. So you're going to lose I believe the R-rated version is about 10 minutes shorter. Yeah. R-rated version is 90 minutes. The NC-17 version is 100 minutes. So you're losing about 10 minutes. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up. So we talked about David Cronenberg's Crash from 1996, and that's going to about do it. So so anyway, this is I'm going to wrap it up. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover. If you took the time to watch this video, thank you. I appreciate you for doing it. I truly do. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Yeah, and if you love really controversial sex and car crash movies like I do, then we'll talk later. Bye bye.